other management areas like operation management, business development, delivery management, and P&L management. Apart from this, she is a great Tamil orator also. She is an active member in Facebook group called Vasaga Salai. I got an opportunity to listen to her few of her speech. Really, it was awesome. We are eagerly waiting to listen your lecture, Suma. Now this is your time. You can take up your session.
Sure. Manju, that was just like, very humbling words. Thanks for saying all that. I don't know whether I have the profound knowledge, but whatever I have gained over the period of like these 15 plus years of my work experience, I'll try and share it with you. Hope the students find that like, pretty useful. So friends, let's start with the today's topic, right? And if at all you're having any questions, feel free to post it in the chat. At the end, I will come back and answer those questions for you. And before we start, okay, I just have to pass on credits for few people. Okay, today's topic is about the power or paradox of choice. I literally got an idea about how choices can become a paradox after reading this book called The Paradox of Choice: Why More is Less by Professor Barry Schwartz. Okay, there is also like YouTube videos about that. If you are interested, you can just go ahead and watch that. And one another item about choosing wisely, which was continuously have been spoken by Professor Sheena. She's from one among the premier management schools in US. Okay, and you can also listen to that. And another credit to two people, one among our senior members, Dr. Ved, who seeded the idea about reading this book, and Miss Arpita, who's our HR, in a very very casual conversation. And we picked up this topic. In fact, Manju has reached out to me for speaking about a topic on that particular day. And I was having another conversation with Arpita, little tangential to the concepts what we're speaking. And that clicked. That's how I ended up choosing this topic for you. And yes, couple of models from Site Central and all my mentors. And before any of this, special thanks to my friend Kartika Devi, who's working as an assistant professor, IT department in York PSNA College. Because of her request only, I decided to accept this opportunities to speak amongst you. Okay. And Manju, yes, fantastic coordination. Thank you. She put me at ease in coordinating with you all. Thank you, Manju. Okay. Now going back, what is about this power and paradox of choices, right? All of us want choices in life. But have you ever felt as in how come the choices can be a paradox? And if that is a paradox, how can you convert that into a power? Okay. It's not a simple phenomenon overall, I would call it. But in my experience, I felt it. A person who wisely uses his choices can be very successful in their life. And rather than successful, I would call it really satisfied in our life, right? Combining these two, we will see how many choices are needed, but when it is needed, how it is a paradox. When it is a paradox, how can you convert it to the power? And when you're converting to the power, what are your do's and don'ts? That's going to be my agenda for today. Okay. Choices, whether it is power or paradox, even if it is not, if it is a paradox, make sure that you convert that as in power. Okay. And in converting that to power, in deciding what are all the choices, how should you make your decision making, and what are all the skill requirements for that, what you should not be doing about it. Okay. Oh wow, it's having a good rain today. Yeah. So that's what you need to consider over there. Okay. Let's start. Okay. How all will you feel if there is no choice in your life? Disaster, right? In fact, life is a matter of choices, starting from what to wear, what to eat, what should I study, where should I work, what am I working as, should I pass this comment to such a person or not, or should I reserve my comments for a later period? Starting from every single point of our life, life is all about choice, right? And if there is no choice, we feel so disastrous. If there is more choice, equally it is disastrous, because we spend a lot of time choosing what to be taken up. And the moment you spend a lot of time, stress your mind, deciding what to taken up, it becomes a disaster. In this affluent materialistic world, today the world is completely industrialized. Look at the number of choices you are having compared to your parents, compared to their parents, right? The choices are profound now. And when there is lot and lot of choices available, how you should be spending lesser time and like choosing something wisely is what we need to understand. Okay. And MBA, right? We need to discuss about the lot of experiments what the MBA gurus do, right? So I just wanted to like pop up about an experiment to you. This is about Professor Sheena I and Mark Lepper's JAM experiment. You can read in Google pretty much. And that was a very nice way of like, seeing how choices can not be like, yielding the results what I want. If there are any marketing students, you just have to like, pay attention to this at this point. See, the researchers set the table with high quality jams, like, 24 jams were there. So they set the table so that like the customers can come, taste the jam and purchase whatever they need. They set 2 tables. One table with 24 all varieties of jams, allowing the customers to taste all of them. Another table, 6 jams. The customers can only like, taste from those 6 jams, but they have the opportunity to buy any one of these 24 in both these tables. Okay. You know what happened at the end? The people who tasted the table which had 24 jams, right? People were really satisfied because they could see the array of food over there. They could taste everything. The satisfaction factor was very, very heavy, but only 3% of the customers ended up buying that. Vis-a-vis the 6 jam tasting that particular table 2, the satisfaction was like, kind of okay, but the purchase level was 30% plus. So what do you understand from that? It's like, pretty simple. You should understand like, what is going to be the model at that particular point. Do you want to create satisfaction, or do you want to like, make sure that people buy from you, right? Once again, this gives me another thought. And like, when I was like reading about that book, the book was like, pretty much dealing at a very different level. So I'm not like going there, but still I'm drawing correlations from this, right? When there are more and more of choices, are we ending up selecting the correct one? Number one, are we taking more time to ending up selecting whatever we want? Number two, and if you are in the delivering end, are the people like, getting what they want from you? So your point of view is to enhance purchases by customers. Is that happening on the ground? No, it is not. So that's where we need to balance between how much of choices I have versus how much of choices like, I need to have at any point of time for me to get the maximum benefit. Okay. Obviously, you and I are attracted by many choices, right? Even when we go to think about like, you are going for a dress purchase. Okay. And there are a lot of like, comical memes about like how women take a lot of time in purchasing saris or anything like that, asking for different colors. You should have seen that, right? And okay, keeping that apart. Yeah. So you should have seen all that, right? Okay. And when you're seeing that, when too many choices, probably we might end up purchasing what I really need or what is like, little close to my heart. Sometimes it is one of the within the 5 minutes, we should have decided like what I need to purchase, but we keep on seeing. Is it like really needed? Yes. The personal satisfaction level, it might be needed for me to kind of like get a feel that whatever I'm purchasing, I've done that after thorough review. But in life, if you're going to spend so much of time in deciding about every single item you do, what are you doing? You're wasting a lot of time. Is that needed? No. It is going to only paralyze me and I keep on postponing my decision. And what happens with postponing of decisions? Procrastination is never good. I'm not like going to end up in a complete like successful career. Okay. See, here I'm speaking from a career standpoint rather than a satisfaction standpoint. So I'm telling you, if there are more choices, you should know how to control your choices, choose from one among them and move ahead from there, right? But whether the choices are good or bad, it's a personal one, I would call it, right? You know about Steve Jobs, are like, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. They all like are wearing like similar type of dresses every now and then. They don't have to worry about like, thinking what should I wear, wasting like 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the morning. Okay. There is another one study which says a CEO typically takes 139 decisions in their life. Okay. If a CEO need to use their brain for taking decisions like that, I don't want to end up my brain getting wasted and like what should I wear? Am I like looking nice here? Is this nice for me? Is that nice for me? Is that color suiting me? And getting like comments about it? No. If I would not be judged for like, what I'm wearing, I think I would end up having like a 10 set of wardrobe which I can carry forever life, which makes me comfortable and which carries me well and good, okay, according to me. But it's again a personal decision, I would call it. But for career, when there is plethora of choices, how should you select which suits you better and move ahead from there? So all of us have heard this, like, ever since from our really like, small ages. Think about good decisions. How are you making your good decisions, right? We say, oh, you have to think about what are your goals, okay? Have an ambition in life, move towards it, goal. Enough of emphasis about it. And we say, evaluate options in that. Okay, I want to be in IT industry as something, then what are my options? Am I taking up the correct role? Am I taking up a role as an architect? Am I taking up a role as a business analyst, which suits me? Are we thinking that? Yes, that's called evaluating options. And then out of the options, whichever suit my goal, I need to decide the best option, which is called D, decide. Right? There is a small kind of like, attachment over here, which is called as like, to me. Again, this is my experience, okay? And this is called goal, options, and decides. I call that acronym as in like, God. Sometimes when people decide correctly, we have been always hearing this from our childhood. Oh, you know what? He has the blessing of God. And otherwise, like, in our part of, the world, we used to like believe in horoscope. Oh, you know what? His star is very, very good. He was born in a proper time. He has been like, pretty successful. But if you look closely, if you start reading few biographies of people, it is not just about when they were born, it is also about the decisions that they have made. Okay. Is that a God's hand? You and I can believe it. No questions about that. But can we make sure that God's blessings is showered on me? Yes, I can make it by thinking about the decisions that I'm making in life. If I'm making a bad decision, yes, it is going to affect my life. If I'm making a good decision, it's going to just like, fall in place of my life. Okay. This is what I'm calling as then converting a paradox to a power. Only when you convert that to a power, you will be like, as I've told you, your paths will be like, progressing. Okay. So many choices, disaster, converting the choice into power by having a proper decision. Okay. So then how should I make my decisions, right? That is what we need to kind of like look into it. You need to prioritize your decision. Okay. Are we spending the right amount of time on the right decision? Sometimes like the life's best decisions, we just like, take it in a snap of a moment. But sometimes the important decisions we keep on delaying without like choosing whatever I need. Okay. So when I was just like, discussing about this, I had a very nice correlation, a funny correlation from one among my leads. Okay. He was saying, yeah, he decided his wife in a snap of a second, but he delayed about his career, which gave him like a lot of issues where he has to like struggle 5 years, 6 years, and then like, he ended up in a job. Okay. So he was telling me about the struggle he underwent. All of us might have seen it. Our cinemas are glorifying about it and we know about it. But little reverse and see if you're prioritizing decision about right amount of time on the right decision, how our life can end up with. Okay. And the second one is about the creating a value map. Okay. If I'm very clear about my values map, okay, it will be easy for you to take the decision. What are values? Okay. If I say I might not, okay, I'll be always honest. It might be an ideal that I'm speaking about, but just like putting about and value. Okay. Or I would say I would not give bribe to anybody. Okay. That might be a value of yours. In that case, my options are very clear. Am I choosing an entrepreneurial path? If I'm choosing an entrepreneurial path, am I like, willing to undergo all these struggle? If the values are not clear, if you're prioritizing your decisions, then you're choosing something. What happens at the end of the day is you will feel lot more dissatisfied about the decisions that you take. Okay, your value is this, but you have to choose something over here. You did not look about the path in which you need to cover for you to choose that. Combination, dissatisfaction, right? Stress. That is what equally lot of our current age people are calling it as stress. I feel like, why so much of stress? Because like, I'm spending a lot of my brain power thinking about what to do, what not to do, how I'll be judged, and like, is this the correct decision that I'm making? And lot of comments, right? How much of those comments are being like value to us? That's again a question mark. If I have to avoid all that, am I prioritizing? Am I having? Am I living within the values mark? Even if you get comments, if you have spent right time in choosing, okay, in a decision, and if you've created a value. Any questions over there? Okay, I can go ahead, I think. Okay, so yeah, if you have spent right amount of time and if you've created a value map, like, matching that, probably even if there are comments, you will be in a position to kind of explain to people, why did you choose that? Why do you think that is like, proper for you? And from there, you can just like move out from there. So this is where two concepts called expert intuition and strategic intuition comes into the play. Okay. And I was telling you about a research paper that I read where a CEO average decision, like, they have to take in a proper point of time is like 139 decisions versus vis-a-vis like, average man, a layman who's at a managerial cadre who takes is like around 30 decisions, and versus a person who lives at home or like, having a casual life, a student, the number of decisions they take at life is like 7. Okay. From 7, moving to 30, moving to 139 without getting stressed. And those 139 decisions, whatever you're taking, have to be correct for running the company in the correct path and making yourself as a successful person. All of us want to be a CEO. I want to be a CEO. Probably the students, whomever you're just like willing to get into the career paths, you want to reach the heights, right? Then, am I capable to take so many decisions which should be correct, and am I like, kind of evaluating my choices correctly? Okay, this is what we need to think. And that's where the concept of expert intuition and strategic intuition comes into the place. Okay, expert intuition is like this. Okay, I'm coming to Dindigul. Okay, and from your college, okay, your auditorium, I forgot the name. I'm just like, kind of giving this lecture in your auditorium. Okay, and I end up speaking with one among you, asking, hey, you know what, I feel like going to Palani. It's 40 kilometers from your place, right? How should I go? So I ask this question to you. Okay, and you should be an expert over there because you have been like living in the college for like a couple of years or so. You know about that area very well. You give me route. Oh, Suma, you go here, go there. Like, this is where you will end up going to Palani. Or I say, oh, Palani is far up, 40 kilometers. I'm thinking about like, going to Dindigul and having a nice biryani in your Velu biryani. Okay, will you take me? Yes, 10 kilometers. Fat. You will give me like ideas about it, right? This is because you are an expert in that particular area. This comes from the skill. Okay. Think about a proper architect or a management person or a technology person, how they take care in like, fixing the hiccups in the process. It is because of the expert intuition. You have been working in that area, you become an expert. So here, lot of it comes from your skill set and knowing what to do. And even if there is a problem at end of the night, we call you, you can fix it. Strategic intuition, it's a completely new area. Okay, you know what, I mean, when we started this conversation, I was having a short connect with your HOD, right? We were speaking about New York City. I mean, people are moving away from New York City because New York City is quite crowded. The real estate prices have gone up like, pretty heavy. People are moving out of that area. So the mayor of the city need to devise a plan. If people keep on moving out, the tax income will be less. When the tax income is going to be less, he cannot like govern the city in the way he was governing before, right? Money is needed at the end of the day. So if, okay, one day you are being called, okay, and take any name over there, you're being called. I will just like, pick Manju's name here. Okay. Manju is made as a governor of New York City tomorrow. Okay. So she has been given this problem and asked to like deal with it. Can we deal with it? No, because it's a completely new year area. So for me to deal with that area in a proper way, I need to analyze, I need to understand what is happening, crunch the data, take a lot of input from others, and like read what has happened before, and by then we have to come into a decision. So this takes time. Okay. But if expert intuition, see, if expert intuition is within a box, strategic intuition happens outside the box. So if I keep on like taking decisions in my life every day in a proper way, my initial aura of influence will be like very, very small. As I told, a normal man somewhere around 7 decisions, right? From there, I keep on increasing my aura of influence, which can go up to 139 at some point. When I'm capable of taking those 139, I am a CEO and I can just like sustain as a CEO. It is not just becoming a CEO for 1 day or 2 days, getting stressed, getting fired, or not like that. So I can sustain in that particular position over a long period. So that's a connection, right? I mean, there are choices. Nobody can't avoid like choices at this millennium. When there are choices, I have to take decisions. So how am I going to take those decisions in a proper way so that I develop an strategic as well as like, expert intuition? All my strategic intuition, which I'm seeing today, tomorrow will become an expert intuition because I've undergone this. Manju is the mayor today, so she can just like, deal with it. Tomorrow she becomes a mayor of like London. London is also having the same problem, same metro. Then she's being called into Chennai. When the experience is there, what you kind of go ahead and devise for the ground rule becomes easier. Okay. So your idea should be about like, facing a lot of experience, getting into the strategic intuition. It's okay, feel with it, then move that into the expert intuition. Okay. So how can I do it? Right. And that is where this RAP model comes into the place. Okay. This again, like, when I was reading the Psych Central website, I really liked about this and how I should be like, taking the decisions. Okay. And decision making, usually when you grow up, okay, when we are young in the life, you should concentrate about the process rather than the analysis. Okay. Understand the opportunity cost. I'm sure you should be having economy as your lesson within MBA, right? And I'm kind of guessing that all of you know about like what opportunity cost is, correct? So you should know the opportunity cost. You should know the trade-off that you have to make for taking a decision, right? When these both are like falling in place, right, the quality of your decisions will improve. If the quality of your decisions improve, end of the day, it's your personal as well as professional success. Okay. What are the dangers over here? Don't narrow frame it. Do not have like, prejudices, bias. Do not take any decision on the emotion based. Don't be overconfident equally, right? Okay. These are all the dangers. Okay. Can I just like, kind of keep this in my mind always? Okay. I think this is NBEO. Okay. Or you can just like kind of have any other combination to it. Okay. Sometimes I call it as like, beyond, BEON. Okay. Always if I make anything as an acronym, it is very easy for me to like, remember in my mind. Okay. So I call this beyond. Don't be biased. Don't be emotion based. Don't be overconfident. Don't be narrow framing. Till date, if I have to take any decision, I think about this process. Great. Okay. So I think about this. Okay. So when I'm keeping on thinking about it, even if I'm just like, thinking, having some prejudices in the way I make a decision. Okay. The moment 5 seconds I take this, I think about it, then I decide, oh no, I am little prejudiced over here. Let me leave that and then go ahead with it. Okay. That avoid lots of conflict and that avoid lots of stress. And even after this, I make a decision which goes wrong. Then I think, okay, I need to improve. End of the day. Okay. I need to improve. for being better from this stage to the next stage. Okay. So what is RAP model? I've spoken about the analysis around it and what are all the dangers. What is RAP model? It is again the exact opposite of beyond. Okay. Widen your option. Don't be having a narrow framing in your mindset. Have a reality test. Okay. Don't be biased. And do not be emotional. Opposite is take it in a very rational way. Okay. Prepare to be wrong, as I told. Don't be overconfident. If I've taken a decision thinking about all this, still you're wrong. Yes, I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm learning from this. My life is a long way. Let me take up the next one. So if I'm just moving ahead in a cyclic process like this, starting from morning to evening, it is like me having better decisions over a period of time. Okay, this has to be a lifestyle. None of this can be okay, today I teach you, tomorrow you go ahead, you make some decisions, it's all perfect. Nope, it is not the way. Okay, I read this book probably about this RAP model 7-8 years before. Still, whether all these decisions are correct? Absolutely not. Right? It's a combination, right? But thinking about it, when I'm just giving you an idea about what to do, I am thinking again. Let me reframe it. Many choices. Control your choices about what is good based on your goals, options. Evaluate and then take a decision. How you should take a decision. I'm thinking the RAP model can come into the picture. Okay, I'll stop here and we'll slowly correlate about few things. Okay, when we were growing up. Okay, we are all how you all being called as 2K kids, 90s kids, and all these stories, right? And we are a little before that, correct? So, Asian parents were very, very controlling. Did we have choices? Hardly little. Okay, hardly little I would call it, because parents were insisting about what we should be choosing. And now I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 11-year-old son. So my son comes and tells to me, Mama, you know what? This is what I will choose. Okay, it is my decision. Okay, it's a cultural shock for us. Okay, not just with my son. Many people, I'm just kind of seeing it. It's a cultural shock. But that's about till they reach 15, 16 years of age group. But after that, now you all being adults, when you get into the professional life, decisions are your control. And the quality of your decisions is how you're going to enrich your life. We can't blame anybody at the end of the day other than us. So if I'm making the current decision, I'm there, whatever I have to be. Okay. Don't stress it out. Okay. Again and again, this is my quick, I would say 2 cents for anybody who's entering the industry currently, because we have been seeing people who are entering the industry for the last 1 decade at least, right? I'm seeing nowadays youngsters seem to be stressing it out. They want to be perfect in everything. Yes, perfection is good, but sometimes the stress is becoming highly counterproductive for them. Okay, so don't stress it out. Okay, life is a complete beautiful journey. Enjoy it. Don't stress it out. Okay, till now I was telling you about why decision making is very, very important and all that, right? I'll take a pause and I will tell you about what is the do's and don'ts in that procedure. Okay, the do's is the skills. If I have to take a good decision, I should have some skill in that particular area. So what are my skills? Comes up again from the VAS model, what I call it. Again, this out of my experience, I gained it. It's called as values, abilities, and skills. I mean, rather than calling it as an experience, I have to qualify it. This is out of my work experience. Working with one among my clients, I gained this idea. So I really liked it and I've imbibed it totally into me right now. Okay, even if I interview somebody, I will check for these qualities from them. Okay, and this is the order in which majorly people are checking also. Okay, what are your values? What are your abilities? And what are your skills? Values are something whether you're dedicated, committed. Are you really truthful to yourself? Are you hardworking and all those things? Okay, and are you consistent? That is again a value I would see. And your abilities. Are you having enough of analytical mindset? Is your communication skills good? What they call it is in soft skills, right? I mean, all those, is it good or not? That's about the abilities. Then comes the skills. It might be technical skill, it might be a functional skill, or it might be a domain skill. What is technical? Tomorrow you get into it, you know R, Python, you go like, do a data mining exercise, it's technical. Functional, process oriented, you're entering into a banking industry. Do you have banking industry? How does it perform? It's a domain skill. So my values, abilities, and skills are pretty much needed. Okay, now take a pause. Think about how many people you're seeing in your life, right? So somebody might be like really, really good in the skills, but if they don't have the values and abilities, will you like bank on them, right? It happens in personal life as well as in the professional life. Now, being a professional arena, I can give examples from my experience itself. Okay, there is an architect who might be like really good, okay, damn good architect, pretty strong in his technical, but if he is not dedicated to his work, he works for 2 days, take off for 2 days, and then if he commits a day that he would complete the work by that day, but not getting the work done by that day, okay, will you and I have them as a manager? I doubt. Over a long period, we will not put up with them. We'll release them. For that point, I can have a person who's at like 80%, who can be committed, who shows to me what need to be done, when need to be done, etc. Because all of us are running in a time-bound manner, right? Another example I can give, okay, the same architect who's like damn good, but can't even speak about a word about what he is doing, explaining to you. So every time you put them in front of your clients or somebody else, the communication fails. Over a period, maybe you will ask them to do the work, you will have somebody to present the ideas back. When that is happening, what will happen is like the architect will feel so down because his work is being projected by somebody else. The person who's projected, if asked like direct questions, might not answer. Then the teamwork kind of fails over there, right? So without the combination of values, abilities, and skill, a person can't be successful. What is important? Your values and abilities. Why? Even if you don't have the skill, you can learn that at any point of time. Now, Google is our mother, right? You go check in Google, there are a lot of courses, Udemy's, Coursera's, and everything under the roof of the sun, where you can go learn anything from the scratch, correct? So skills can be acquired at any point of time, but if you do not have the basic values and abilities, it's hard, okay? Again, pause for a moment and think what is being taught in the colleges versus what is being learned. Always there is an emphasis about just a moment. Sorry about that. Yeah. So always, okay, in colleges, let it be in engineering college or anywhere, what we are being taught is the skills. What we need to learn is values and abilities. Okay. There will be enough an emphasis about hey, you know what, you should have the values. Day in from our childhood, we have been told about it. And abilities, many of us are coming and discussing about, I even saw in one among your, another lecture, somebody spoke about soft skills, right? All of us can speak about it. But unless otherwise, you imbibe these into your mind, work in improving this, values and abilities, these two areas you cannot acquire. It is a personal interest, I would call it. Skills can be put from outside to inside. The values and abilities you have to develop from inside to outside. Okay, so any successful person will be called out for their values and abilities. Okay, you go to the top. Okay, without your values and abilities, remember, you will not sustain over there for a long time. We have seen enough of scandals about people without values going to the top and falling from there. Or we are seeing enough of comments about people who are going to the top without abilities falling from there. It is not about even to the top. It is about even to a mid-level management area. It's about where you're working. Everywhere you will have this. Okay, values can define you as a person. Abilities can sustain you as a person. Skills can only move you as a person, is my basic belief. So again, go back today, see where you need to improve on it. See whether you can jot down some 5 values for it. This is a live document. It will keep on changing. But remember the VAS. Wherever you are lacking, go ahead and put effort on that. Okay. Like skills, you need to invest time and abilities also for you to enrich from this level to the next level. Okay. Till now, I was speaking about the do's. What are my don'ts, right? And I understood from Manju that you also have an operational management course within as one stream within the MBA is offered in PSNA, correct? And this concept again, it's the Japanese concept, and Toyotas and everybody has been using it, but quite interested me. Okay, so this is what I call as don't. Muda, Mura, and Muri. Muda is waste, Mura is imbalance, Muri is overloading. Okay, so take a lorry. Okay, if you're just if that can carry 1,000 kg of weight, and you're just putting only 200 kg of weight, you are running the vehicle with so much of waste. Correct? That's a human brain. Okay, if I can learn so many items, and if I'm not learning, then I'm wasting my life. Correct? Moving ahead, Mura. Okay, this is how I correlate the values, abilities, and skills. Somebody who's really strong in skill. Okay, in 1,000 kg, the person is 1,250 kg loaded. You will break the axle at the front tire. You will break over a period. That is imbalance. So as I told about an example of the architect, where a person need to be balanced about his values, abilities, and skills. Equally, in any part of a life, we need to go balanced. Okay, this balance can be personal, professional life balance. It is about within my personal life, what importance am I giving to everything? Within my professional life, what importance am I giving to every time? This has to be there. Sometimes, yes, I have to kind of make it little tilting for the needs of mine. So, okay, I go ahead, concentrate on my professional goals at this point of time. But later, I adjust it by taking care of my son. Okay, if I keep on running, taking care of the professional things in my life, I lose my personal life. I have to balance somewhere, right? So Mura comes into the picture over there. Okay, Muri. Okay, I can only run for some time. Okay, I can just read about 20, 30 titles a year or something like that. I can do probably one seminars like this in a month. If I overload me, then again I am breaking myself. Okay, if we are not balanced, if there is so much of a waste in our life, if we are overloading, that is what the new age syndrome called as stress comes into the picture. Okay, so have this also in your mind when you are thinking about this do's. Also have an idea about the don'ts. Okay, and this saying, I really like it. Okay, waste is hidden. Do not hide problems in your life. Okay, make the problems visible. Again, correlating. I have a nephew, niece, and all of you working in studying in colleges, etc. Of late, I'm seeing many parents are worried about kids locking themselves in a room and studying. Okay, oh, I'm studying, do not disturb me, this is my world. Okay, I keep on telling you all, to everybody, it's okay. None of us are studying 24/7, locking ourselves in a room. Come out. When you're coming out and studying for what we are uttering or what we are just not doing correctly, we will get scolded. But that's absolutely fine. You are making your problems visible. When you make your problems visible, probably you will control it, or you will think about whether that is correct or wrong, right? It is about an imbalance which is creating the problem. And if you're hiding the problem, you will continue to live with the problem. Whether that is good? No. Okay, so I say, don't brush the problems under the carpet. I keep telling this. Okay, let's speak about it, let's discuss about it, let's see how it goes, rather than brushing the problems under the carpet. Don't do that. Someday under the carpet, if you open it, there will be just loaded with so many items. So Muda, Mura, and Muri, I hope you kind of take this input from the operational management side and then apply that to your life. Okay, there is always some lesson when you read it, you can just apply it back. Okay, So now I will stop. Okay. Again, I'll go back, take 2 minutes explaining things as in like what I'm trying to convey to you. Okay. Always there has to be a skill requirement in life, which is what is values, abilities, and skills. Make sure you jot it down in your note about like, what is that you need. And if there is a lack in anything, go ahead, concentrate on it, improve it. Being students, this is the best time that you can just like, kind of invest on all that. Always be aware of these don'ts. So if you are loaded in something, stop there, go invest your time on something else so that you can be balanced. When you have the values as well as when you avoid not to do about like few items, your decision making can be pretty much driven from the good knowledge that you have. So when your decision making is like, happening as a process, the quality of the decisions you make can improve. Okay. That helps you to enrich the control of influence within like whatever you're having. Again, this is what will make it as a power of choice. Okay. And see, I just wanted to like, kind of let you know about like few things. When we look back, we often regret about many things we did not do. Okay. I have some regrets. Ask about anybody, we will have such regrets. Again, this came from a very short conversation that I had with one among your, folks. So I felt it like all of us are carrying such regrets in life, right? We regret having hesitated and for being indecisive, right? So I hesitated there. I took time. I missed the opportunity. Such a kind of a feeling all of us like, have. And your decisiveness, okay, your decision-making ability, your decisiveness allows you and I to make brave decisions, make brave choices, okay? We have to be bold. We really have to be bold and wiser in making the decisions. The right process in making the decision can drive the right choices, okay? The right choice made at the right amount of time can give you a lot of confidence, okay? This confidence over a period will make you successful, will make you satisfied in life, okay? End of the day, why are we all studying and running? What are we doing? It is about the balance between the power as well as the satisfaction, right? We will achieve it only when our foundation is very, very clear. To me, this is my foundation. If you ask me, like, how I think I have been operating over a period, this is how it is. And okay, if you again, you can ask me, oh, you know what, you think you have a good foundation, then why are you not CEO? It is because, again, a decision that we have made that gives me satisfaction. That is not making me feel about, oh, I missed that, I missed that. Yes, I missed. If I had known this like way before in my college days, probably my decisions might have been different. Over a period, we gained this experience, and now I'm thinking like this. And now if we start like putting into it, at least I avoid a lot of stress, or I avoid a lot of indecisions in my life. Okay, that's how I'm just like, kind of feeling it. Okay, so this again gives you another one about your expectations, right? Expectations can push any of us, but high expectations, which are without your values, abilities, and skills, it's only like, air in the balloon. Okay, it is not going to be useful. High expectations without the values, abilities, and skills, it is counterproductive. Okay, keep this pretty clear in your mind. Okay, if there are expectations, think, are you having the basic for it? If not, enrich the basic. It is not about having expectations, it is about enriching your basic. Okay, and we all know about like how our ex-president, Dr. Abdul Kalam spoke about dream. We just like took that dream, but how should I work for achieving the dream is what is important. Dream is something which doesn't like make you sleep, and that dream is something which doesn't allow you to sleep thinking about it for you to achieve it. Are we all moving towards that? Is what is needed. Okay, and in this process, right now, current age, social comparisons are unavoidable. Okay, luckily I did not have such a kind of a like social comparison when we were in the colleges. Right now I'm seeing like, looking perfect even in an Instagram post or like in a post that you do in a Facebook is absolutely needed. That's too stressful, okay, according to me. And kudos to you all guys, you are handling it fantastically well. We don't know how to handle it yet, okay. But social comparison, when I'm calling it as an unavoidable, the best process is to avoid brooding over them. Don't keep brooding over the social comparison. Yes, it is happening. You are doing whatever you're doing is the best. Again, if you don't have to brood over it, if you don't have to worry about that, it goes back to the whole concept about making the correct decision. I'm spending correct time, so I know I can sustain what I have done. Okay, it comes to that. Okay. One more thought, okay, just like crossing my mind about maximizers versus the satisfiers, right? Okay, early period of the life, we all think about maximizing power, wealth, my social status, etc. After you achieve all that, you want satisfaction in life. So what I do, I go ahead and kind of help the community. I go ahead and help somebody doing something, giving me satisfaction. Take anybody's life as in Hydron lives, okay, starting from 5 people are going ahead and investing in the community so much. They've earned so much, millions and millions and millions of dollars or millions and millions of rupees. After that, they are investing. In the process itself, if I have just kind of keep on investing in few things, means I might not have had so much of wealth. Okay, that's a correlation used to say. Always we speak about the people who give back to the community, but if there are people who are giving to the community from the grassroots levels, okay, those people will never be that rich because they have been doing it. This is what is maximizers versus satisfiers. Okay, you can pretty much decide about having a satisfied life rather than running away from power, wealth, or anything. That's your choice. Okay, it's your decision. It's absolutely correct if you think the underlying factors under which you have decided that is laying on that. Okay, that clarity is what is needed right now. After you take up a grassroots level, satisfying, okay, nice to do kind of the work. Don't brood about people who are driving an Audi or a BMW. That is not my scope. I never want to do it, and I'm not going to brood over it. Okay. So when social comparisons are unavoidable, please don't brood about it. Is what I can just leave you as a thought with you. Okay. And for the satisfying life, always think about your, as I called it, what is the opportunity cost? What is the trade-off that I'm doing? What are the adaptations that I have to take it up for me to move in that particular picture? Have that clarity among you. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Now I just wanted to kind of
Yeah, Suma, sorry to interrupt you. There are few questions to be answered. There are few questions.
Should we take that now, or I will kind of do this now?
Yeah, that's your choice. If you're comfortable answering now, I will pose the question. Or if you're continue at the end of the session, you can do it.
Okay. So let's take up the questions now. And then I can just go back to the analogy, whatever I wanted to kind of.
Okay, Suma. Actually, first question asked by Dr. M. Parveen Roja. In CTS, what is your choice of employees? Smart worker or hard worker?
So I think it is again a pretty much a personal choice among the managers who choose people. I really prefer hard workers and training them to be smart workers because I think I can be a good mentor in converting them. But smart worker, if they are not hard, I value quite a bit of values, that defined values that I spoke about. Okay, so I believe in hard workers and making them, converting them, mentoring them to be smart workers. That's me. It's a personal choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Second question asked by Dr. Shankara Narayanan. Work in the institution in the right sense, work within the limit. But my failure is not around the people working who may project the things in the wrong way. Is it necessary to work in the place and see around the things? What will do?
Absolutely. Okay. Being in the correct spot at the correct way, taking right decisions is what is going to give you a higher push, right? So if I'm reading the question correctly, if I have to do the correct thing, I have to be within the correct environment. Okay. So in Tamil, they used to call it, right? Like, Seithil Vilanda Sendamarai. Okay. That all is fine for literature. But in life, if somebody has to like come and the செந்தாமரையை போய் எடுக்கணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு correlation இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னாக்கா, if somebody has to just like go and grab the fruits of coming out of that bad one, people have to walk into that muddy water. How many of us are ready to do that? So being in the right spot is absolutely needed. Take a break, move to a right spot, it can give you a push.
Okay, thank you. The next question raised by Dr. Sethupathi. With regard to choices, ma'am has that if we have more choices, output is very less. And if we have less choice, then satisfaction level is become very less. What shall we do?
Yes, okay. We started this with the same concept, right? Okay. So why do we need choices? I'll go to that question. Okay. Should somebody want to kind of like answer me this? Why do we need choices?
We have to select the best one among the alternatives.
Okay, so that is why I need a choice, correct? And as I told, you go to a rest. Okay, I will leave that sari story and I will move to a restaurant story now. Okay, you go to a restaurant. Okay, there are some 1,000 varieties of food. How will you feel? Oh, there are so much, I can choose from. I'll feel satisfied. But what am I selecting? Maybe one among the owner themselves know they have just like, one among the top selling items, correct? Choices are needed. Plethora of choices is not satisfaction. It is only a distraction. So if I just have only one thing to eat every day, idli chutney, I'm not going to be satisfied. All 365 a day. But if I have, say, like, 10 options, I can choose one among those options. That is okay with this. Choices are needed. I completely agree with you. That provides a lot of satisfaction. But is it like ending up giving me the value that I want in my life is what we need to understand. Correlating with the JAM experiment again, okay? If you are displaying, as I told, marketing students might have to like, take a caution in that. If you want to kind of like display, enable the satisfaction among the customers, your agenda is different. You have to do with a spread of 24. Okay, if your agenda is to make sure people buy your product, allow them to like select from 6 so that there is proof, not just this JAM experiment. I've read quite a more about it. There is proof that the purchase level can go up there. That is what it is. Choices give you satisfaction, but draw a line. How many choices should you be having in your life? Don't waste time over like selecting from those choices. It is distracting. Did I answer you?
Yes. Then next question raised by Geeta. Working from home is stressing us psychologically. How will software people managing that?
Tell me about it. I am too stressed. Okay. In March and April, as soon as we started moving to the work from home, first time ever in my life, I was telling my mom, okay, oh, Amma, I can't handle this. This is stressful. Okay. I never used to like use this word as stress very often. So I was feeling the stress. It was killing. Then I found it. What are all the problems that I've been doing? Okay. It is about, there is no boundary between my professional life as well as the personal life. I have to attend to my son. And then like I'm getting carried away with everything happening on the go. And I want perfection in everything. So when I'm like, kind of like looking for the perfection, I'm getting stressed. Okay. Please understand this might be the new normal. Okay. And if this is the new normal, allow yourself to be imperfect on few days. Okay. And you and I alone can't take the decision. Okay. Your people above should support, your people below should support. This is a 360-degree support that you need. Okay. Sometimes cook, store it inside the kitchen. Women, I know, like, it's a big problem for us, like handling kitchen as well as, working from home. Okay. If the kids are not studying on one particular day, that's okay. Next day, just catch up with them, have a sweet talk with them. And whatever I'm telling, have I perfectionist? No, not it. Okay. This is a process over which all of us have to get through. This is stressing a lot of people. There are evidences about it. In fact, with one among the clients with whom I'm working, they've just like done a survey, taken a result and, published it telling mental health is important. They've allowed leave for people, like, on top of whatever they are entitled in any particular year. One more week of leave, take every now and then, even if you are at home, take care of your mental health. They've told all that, okay? And I always believe in having some hobbies for reducing that stress. It might be music, it might be like, reading some books. If that can help you, that is fantastic. But yes, stress is evident in working from home scenario, particularly for women. So I agree with you, Gomati.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is, how to overcome inconsistency? My inconsistency stress me a lot and lot. How to overcome it?
Fantastic question. Okay. So how that inconsistency is like kind of coming, correct? It is because one day you're really working well, you are achieving whatever you want. Next day, you're not putting the same effort in something what you can do it. Know your limits, right? This is why we always call it as a, like, see, luckily in our culture, right, in Tamil culture, always they have told about like what is in it for you, know about it. They keep on stressing about it, right? Again, I'm going back to the roots. Know about what is in it for you, whatever you can achieve. Don't stress so much on a day, and do not be lenient on other days. At least have a pattern. Couple of hours I will work on these things. Okay, this is a tougher situation, I need to work little more, I'm stressing that more on that. Next day, just like, kind of reduce it. This is about having a conscious mind of dealing with these things without losing the borders. Okay, have a border, within that border keep on operating. If one day you are overachieving, it is well and good, but do not expect to be overachieving on every single day. Okay, even our Rajinikanth could not give continuous hits. All of us are human. Okay, imperfections are possible, understand that, are possible but avoidable. That's a word that I'm using. To avoid it, let's try to be like, better with what you're doing. Again, same thing, know you, know your limits, work based on your limits.
Thank you, Suman. The next question is, ma'am, you were talking about decision making. Okay, sometimes we tend to make some wrong decision. When it comes to when we are getting some consequences only, we know that the decision we made it was wrong. How to manage it?
Oh, yeah. You cannot manage it. You have to accept it. All of us make wrong decisions in life. Okay. All of us have made these wrong decisions in life. Accept it as a wrong decision. Do not learn why did you make that wrong decision. From there, move ahead in life. Okay. The moment you think it's a wrong decision, I did this because of these reasons, and start worrying about it and not learning from it, is the problem that I'm seeing. Okay. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Okay. Wrong decisions are pertinent in anybody's life, but learn.
Okay, so it's my personal question. Can you tell me what is the profile of business analyst? As you have mentioned in your LinkedIn profile, you started your career as a business analyst. What is that actually? As a MBA faculty members as well as the MBA students, they want to know about what is the role of business analyst.
Business analyst, okay. As the word describes, okay, analyzing business. Okay, so what is business? So for example, the software industry, the business analyst role is like, very well known role. Okay. What we do, there are requirements which come my way, and like for the requirements, people create the code. Okay, and when the code is done, people test it. The moment it is tested, it is just like, kind of published, and that is what a software life cycle is. Correct. The business analyst comes in the way of converting the business requirements into a requirement that a technical person can understand. That is a business analyst role. He is a bridge between the customer gathering the requirements, putting it in a structure or a document or something like that, passing on to the architects or the technical people to develop the structure. Okay, this is, I would call it as a a high level role. There are like other responsibilities also for a business analyst, I would call it. Okay, for example, when the testing is done, okay, all the business requirements have been tested. For that, what is the documentation which is being written? That is a business analyst role. Okay. Then again, like, mapping the requirements to whether every requirement that the client has given, whether that has been converted into the software features, checking that. That is a business analyst role. Sometimes creating solutions. Okay, it is an issue. A client comes and speaks about it. A business analyst person knowing about the technology as well as the process, coming up with a solution is also a business analyst role. Okay, there are tools for that right now. Okay, and you need to be pretty strong in the domain for getting into the business analyst role. So it's all about learning day by day.
Okay.
Did I answer you,
Suma,
Manju?
thank you. Yes, exactly. I got it. Okay, Suma, this is the question we received so far. These
Okay,
are all
that's
the
great.
questions. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, now let's move ahead to the final analogy that I have. Okay, how many of you love driving? Okay, I'm sure many of us, right? I love driving. Yeah, I literally love driving. And what is, kind of handicapping me in the current scenario is about the drive. Even if it is like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's just like me driving to office is something which satisfies me so much, but I'm missing that. Okay. So your education is kind of your car. Okay. If you're done like engineering or medicine, any professional services, I would call it like a car. Okay. We can take a travel by walk, by cycle, by scooter, by mopeds, anything, bikes, anything like that. But I see professional education as a car. It's a nice functioning car which gives you a support at the roof, etc., etc. And your license is your skill set. Okay, we can have a car, but if I don't know how to drive, I'm again a disaster in the road, right? So many of us complete engineering MBA, but am I like coming out with the basic skill set? That is kind of my license. Okay, so my education is car, my skill set is my license. So when I have the skill set, I can drive. Where am I driving? I can drive from your, speaking about your this thing, you can either drive to Palani, Dindikal, or you can just Rajendra Theatre, right? I was told about this quite a few there, where people in your college used to go. And this is 10 years before. From one among my family friends were studying in the engineering colleges there. So he has told me about Rajendra Theatre, but I don't know the current situation where you're going. So you can go to Dindikal, Palani, Rajendra Theatre, Velu Biryani, or you can just go to Chennai, Hyderabad. From there, do you want to go to Mumbai? Yes. This is what I see as your career points, right? You can decide to go to Dindikal, live in Dindikal all through the life, or you can just end up going to Delhi, live in Delhi all through the life. These are decisions. From being an MBA grad, you enter into an industry, you become a manager, you are satisfied all through your life. You are staying at that point, or you keep on increasing from there. You having some idea, moving up and up and up and up. Whatever you want, you can just kind of move there. It's up to the SpaceX travel, which just made it possible very, very recently. Till then, your options are many. Okay. Am I enriching myself from moving from one place to the other is the question here. And in the driving, what all do we enjoy? We want to enjoy with whom are we traveling, correct? Choosing our travelers is important. Again, where am I stopping? Okay, am I just rushing from Chennai to Hyderabad and I just wanted to drive this in say straight 7 hours? You can do it. You are not enjoying the beautiful scenes in the sideways of the road. You are not stopping down for a tender coconut vendor, having a sweet and short story chat with them. Okay, probably sharing the food of yours so that he can share the tender coconut of his. A quick combination, having good lessons are some nice thoughts. You are just enriching the life, other people's life on the way. Or you are seeing a person who are just walking, okay, helping him come onto a board. What does that mean? You are educated, you are an engineer, you want to give back to the society, you enrich somebody to travel with you along in your car. Pretty much possible. This is why I'm correlating life into a driving. It's all about for what am I driving? What is my destination? My destination, whether it is changing from that point to the other. And in the process, am I enjoying? Am I kind of like, traveling with my co-travelers in a very funny, nice, happy, enjoyable moment? Okay. So leaving the thought with you, right? And in this process, if I have to decide to like, settle down in Chennai, it is again my decision. Am I satisfied with it? Okay. If not, I just wanted to end up going down to New York. That's also up to mine. If that is not happening, that's fine. What should I do about it? Okay. It's a quick analogy. I thought I will just like share it with you. That's it from my end. Okay. Again, going back. Okay. It always says that like in any 1 hour, a human mind can just like grab 5 points. If those are the only 5 points that you think you can take care from today's discussion, I just want you to like, take a screenshot of this slide. Choices design your life. From unplanned, raw decision making, move to the comfort of expert decision making. Okay. As I told, strategic decision to expert decision makes it like better and better. Life is defined. Your decisions are modeled by your values and abilities. So have a very clarified values and abilities in your life. Okay. VAS model is you, your growth, your success, as well as your satisfaction. Reduce the wastage in the process. Concentrate on all three. Be productive, balance, and never stress it out. Okay. End of the day, be a good learner. Always there are chances for you to learn from anybody and everybody. That's how I wanted to kind of like, close today's conversation. And any more questions? I am.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Thanks for your wonderful presentation. So today you made us to understand the importance of decision making. So decision making is just a 2-letter word, but what is beyond decision making, you made us to understand. And a special thanks to Kartika, your friend, whom was instrumental for us to have your session today. And one thing which was quite interesting is the choice between spouse and career. Decision making. That is what you told me in the initial slide. That's true, madam. I have come across guys who spend a lot for career. They decide their wife just like that. So that is happening, and and many models you were able to understand today, madam. Thank you very much, madam. Manju,
I'm very glad about it.
Thank you, madam. Manju, you can deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Before that, Suma, there is 2 questions. There are 2 questions. Okay.
Please go ahead.
First one, one question was raised by our student, Pandi Sethupathi. Ma'am, I'm having a question. Sometimes situation affecting and force us to take an undesirable decision. How to solve that? How to balance that mind?
Okay. Undesirable situation in the sense like, is he trying to mean that he's pushed to take some decision? Is that what he is meaning? Is he pushed to take a decision which he doesn't want to like take up in life?
Actually, he's trying to say like he's forcing to take undesirable decision out of his mind, out of his own interest only. He's taking some undesirable decision.
Oh, okay.
He knows it is undesirable.
Okay.
It's just like an addiction only.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay, so for example, like, I'm seeing a lot of today's kids are like playing PUBG, Fortnite, Toon Blast, Candy Crush, all these, and like, spend 3 to 4 hours a day, correct? Then calling it, oh, I want to avoid it, but I'm not in a position to avoid it, right? All of us do. Even like grown-ups are doing that. Happens. It's something which I don't want to do, but, unconsciously, I'm kind of like ending up doing it. Very lighter side. But somewhere I know this is going to end up in being a wrong decision. I'm pushed to do that. Okay. Your answer lies within. It is like, have to be avoided. So you have to train your mind and like, getting up to there to avoid it. That is what is going to make you successful. How to do it? Pause for a moment. Always like believe in old age technologies of like writing down which is your positive of doing it, which is your negative of doing it. This is nothing but like, you're spending your consciousness, your mind and body in thinking in the same route, right? You write, why am I choosing it? Why I'm not choosing it? Tear the paper, throw it out, but take some time in writing it. 30 minutes, concentratingly, just like do it, okay? Slowly, you will start avoiding yourself in pushing to do something which it is like hurting, okay? I tell to my son sometimes, okay, and Tamil we used to call it, right? Kullinu therinju keela poi viluvoma abindra mari, okay. So all of us use these words to our kids, right? I keep telling them, Mama, think about it. There is a pit. Will you still go ahead and fall it? Right? If you're not that way, then you don't have to do that. When that is conscious, that you know if you're still going and falling ahead and the pit is foolishness, please don't do this. This is equivalent to that. Okay. And parents would have told it. We have not heard it. Now we have to hear to a mind where this is what is foolishness and let us not do about it. It's training your mind at the end of the day. I hope you get succeeded in that. And my wishes too.
Okay,
Manju?
Suma, thank you. Next question, raised by Dr. P. Muthupandian. Satisfaction varies from person to person. Why equally qualified person level of satisfaction vary? Why so?
Okay. It is lot of like, overlaying ways, right? How I grew up versus you grew up versus like how we are even growing up. Within a same family, how a brother, elder brother versus younger brother grows up, there are a lot of differences. That comes from there, okay? And that is exactly going back to the social comparison standpoint. That's why I stressed on that, okay? Do not compare, okay? And it's an ideal state. Can I avoid social comparison in the current world? No, I cannot. Then please don't brood about it. If you know the decisions that you've taken is out of your consciousness, you will feel satisfied about whatever it is, okay? Somebody needs a lot of like, praises to feel satisfied in work. Somebody just needs the salary at the end of the month for them to feel satisfied. It varies from person to person. Please do not compare with anybody else. Each of us have to dance to our own drums, not for anybody else's drums.
Okay. Thank you, Suma. The last question. Living in India or US, which one is the best choice?
Again, varies from person to person. Okay, so as soon as my wedding got over, we were in London. I pestered my husband so much that we came back to India. Okay, and after that, like because of cautious business professional decisions, we came here. So it varies from person to person. But yes, lifestyle in US is like pretty different. You have good infrastructure. You do not have like a lot of pollution, etc. It is about tasting a different sense of the world. But speaking about no pollution, equally you need relationship, people to whom you can just like connect with, etc. India is far more better. You have people around. End of the day, satisfaction. Maximize versus satisfaction. Here you can maximize, then you can get satisfied.
Okay, Suman, the final last question raised by one of our students. Ma'am, I like HR jobs, but out of this situation, I am forced to go for marketing job. How to set my mind for this, ma'am?
Okay. See, I mean, sometimes you might have to choose something which is better for you, available at that particular point. But if you're really, really clear about getting into an HR job, marketing to HR is not at all a big dive. Okay. After a couple of years, when things settle, keep on learning about the HR. Like there are post-management courses about specifically on HR. Read quite a lot, okay, psychological references about these concepts and all that can end up fantastically well in a well-settled HR job very soon. And within HR also, there are like, a lot of streams. It might be like recruitment. It might be about like connecting with resources. It might be about like, managing the financial tax regimes, etc., etc. There are many, many like streams around it, right? Whichever the stream you want it, invest your time in this. And you are all very, very young to shift careers within your lifespan. So you will end up choosing whatever you want if you are really interested in going to that line very soon. Stick to that.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Really, it is a very wonderful and more informative session. We got more insights about prioritizing and decision making. I'd like to give my vote of thanks. First of all, I thank Almighty for all His blessing on us. And I'd like to thank my management for giving this wonderful platform to enhance our knowledge. I thank our principal for his support. I thank my head of the department, Dr. S. Manimaran sir, for his consistent support in all our webinar season. He empowered every one of us without any gender discrimination. He's a person behind all our empowerment. I like to thank our faculty team for their constant and consistent encouragement in making every webinar a successful one. I thank the faculty friends from various institutions, various departments, and I thank my students friends who are actively participating in all the webinar season. And once for all, I'd like to thank our resource person, Ms. Sumashni Muthuswamy, who readily accepted my invitation. We have been talking almost for a month. I really got a friend for life. I have to thank Kartika for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so
At the
much.
end of the day, I'm very glad about that, Manju. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity and thanks for listening to me, students. I hope I've just kind of imbibed at least a few things in your, time today and have made your time pretty useful. Thanks all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good, Manju. Thank you, students.